Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 8th of May 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the S&P500. Now, I looked at this one yesterday at my Traders Tea Time as well, and this is what I was telling you guys, to keep a close eye on this level right here near the 2,892 level, approximately there. It got broken yesterday. Of course, we did the indices, the equity markets in general, experienced a strong sell-off yesterday. So, this S&P 500 here managed to travel all the way here towards our target. Almost actually managed to reach that our target near the 2,860 level. So, it kind of just fell shy of a few points from hitting that, and then retraced back up, but it remains below this 2,892 level still. For us, this activity here is still somewhat of bearish one. We're still going to be looking at something like this here. We may see a further push higher. If we look at the cash index right now, the cash index is slightly below the yesterday's close, but if we do get a push back up here, we're still going to keep a close eye on this 2,892 level, because if it struggles to overcome it, then we may see another leg of selling here, and this time potentially could hit this target here, our target near the 2,860 level. You can see this level here, in between here, the 2,873 also acted as a good support. It didn't kind of allow the 4-hour candle to close below that, so also keep your eyes on this one. So in other words, if we do see a push higher, 2,892 level, that's what we're going to be looking out for. If it struggles to overcome it, then we may see another leg of selling, which could lead towards the 2,873, or even actually again lower towards this 2,860 zone. If we do see a break below this, then this is where we will examine further downside, but we'll get to that point later if we see such a move. Now, in terms of the upside here, of course, you could keep a close eye on this psychological 2,900 level, which is approximately around here. This way, if we do see a push back above the 2,900 level, of course, this could increase the index's chances to travel higher here. We could then target some areas like this one right here, near the highs of yesterday, which were around the 2,913. But if that fails to withhold, further acceleration to the upside could be possible. We could even test the area around here, around the 2,942, or this upside support line from underneath. So also keep your eyes on this one. But initially, of course, let's see if it actually manages to push back above the 2,900 levels. For now, given the situation that we're seeing currently in the cash index, to be honest, the upside could be slightly off the table for now, but still keep your eyes on some of these key support and resistance levels. Jumping into gold now very quickly on this one. So is is having a nice time right now. Of course, the bulls, the gold bulls are having a great time. We managed to push the commodity up here and managed to break above the 1289 level, and actually managed to reach the 1291.5, something like that here today. But quickly you can see that the bears kicked in here and decided to kind of drive this one lower. The only thing is that looking at this 4-hour chart, you can see that the price is currently balancing around the 200 EMA here. It's testing it from above. If it continues to hold, that's great news for the bulls, for the buyers. We could see a further push higher. The only thing is that, guys, don't forget to keep a close eye on this little on these two lines. So on the, of course, on the medium term upside support line taken here from the lows of August last year, and the short-term downside resistance line. So especially this one here, this downside resistance line taken from the highs of February this year. And if we do see a push again closer towards that downside resistance line, this is where it's going to become a little bit more interesting for the bulls, because if we see a break above this, then yep, we could start considering higher levels. But the only thing is, for us to get slightly more comfortable with higher levels, we would like to get a nice push, a nice good break above this 1296 zone, and of course ideally the psychological 1300 level. But to be honest, we will already start looking at higher levels if we see a push above the 1296 zone. So guys, for now, keep your eyes on this one. Very interesting developments. Keep your eyes on this 200 EMA right now on the 4-hour chart, of course. Let's see if it continues to hold. If it continues to hold, we may see a reversal and a push higher towards this downside resistance line that I was talking about. But if it gets broken, if the 200 EMA gets broken, certainly we could see maybe a bit of a slide here lower. Now, what you could do here is, of course, keep a close eye on this little tentative upside support line. It's a bit of a very short term, very tentative. To be honest, this is just something to keep an eye on. This in a way could be that maybe last resort for the bulls to step in again, if the price drops below the 200 EMA. If this gets broken as well and we see a slide below the 1281 zone, now this is when we will consider consider a possible move towards this kind of medium term or long term upside support line taken from the lows of August last year. So for now, keep your eyes on this, keep your eyes on the 200 EMA, and let's see how it's going to play out further. Very quickly on Aussie NZD. So of course we did, or at night during the Asian morning, we did have a nice spike here to the upside, almost managed to reach this level here near the 1.0730, but then retraced back down and traveled lower. And this whole day today is still traveling lower. We still have the whole US session to go, so in a way we may see this one reversing back up, but we will only consider that if it continues to struggle to overcome this 1.061715 level. So in other words, keep your eyes on today's pivot as well, which is around the 1.06113 level. So basically, if it struggles to get below this area here, then we may see another leg of buying here, potentially maybe aiming for the this little intraday swing high here of today near the 1.0661, a break of which could open the path towards the 1.0685 marked by the high of the 23rd of April. But if that fails to withhold, we will target these recent highs here near the 1.0730 zone. But again, I'll repeat myself. All this only if we see a rejection here near this 1.0615 level, approximately there. If it struggles to overcome it, if it struggles to close the 4-hour candle below it, and then yep, we may see the bulls kind of stepping in potentially and driving this one higher again, at least towards this 1.0661 zone. But if that gets broken, now this is where it could become a little bit more exciting for even more bulls. And as you understood probably, so the drop below the 1.0615 could potentially open the path towards this this upside support line, this tentative upside support line. It only has 2 touches here, but well, roughly 3, but yeah, to be honest, in general, it is probably going to be considered as 1. So basically, this tentative upside support line taken from the lows of the 25th of March could be tested as well if we see a drop below the 1.0615 level. So keep your eyes on that one. Jumping into USDJPY very quickly. So it did slide heavily. It continues to slide, but today, right now, this last 4-hour candle here, you can see that it's trying to push back up here. It managed to test the the 110.25 level, tested it from underneath, but kind of got held here, and the bears started pushing it back. Now, for us, this little territory here between the 110.25 and the 109 point, or in other words, let's round it up towards the 110. So this is going to be our little neutral territory. We need to see a nice good drop initially below the 110 zone. For those who like maybe more accurate levels here, we do have the little 109.95 zone. So in other words, for those who like to take it more seriously here, this drop below the 109.95 could potentially open the path towards the 109.70 level. Now, we will only drag it up until here because, as you can see, this is a very good potential area of support here which is near the lows of the 24th of March, from which, as you can see, the pair kind of rebounded and pushed higher. So that's why, for now, guys, even if we do see a slide lower, if we do see another slide below the 110 zone and then 109.95, then yep, keep your eyes on this one, 109.70, and then we'll take it from there. Because if it does want to break it below, then we will consider lower levels if we see a close below the 109.70. But if it struggles to overcome this, we may see a nice rebound here and maybe some more recovery here to the upside. But for now, guys, looking at this picture, of course, this is looking quite negative right now. The only thing is that if we see before, let's say, breaking this 110 level, we see a push above the 110.25 zone, of course, we will aim for slightly higher levels here initially. Now, I do have this level here at 110.80. Could be a good one. The only problem with that is that there is another potential area here of resistance near the 110.45, which is marked by the intraday swing low here of Monday. So keep your eyes on that one as well. So just let me quickly put this one on the chart. So 110.45 could be that also level that could hold the rate from accelerating further. But if that fails to withhold, of course, then yep, we will target the 110.80, or even actually this little high here, the little high of Monday near the 110.97, 96, something like that, approximately there, guys. So for now, that's the kind of game plan. For the big question here is, will this 110 level continue to hold? If it doesn't, then we may see a retest of the the 24th of March low near the 109.70. Very quickly into Euro USD, looking at the Euro USD. So it continues to kind of move nowhere, to be honest. I mean, it is balancing around this tentative upside support line that I've mentioned in one of my videos, one of my previous videos where I was talking about euro dollar. So for now, we're going to be very neutral on this one. We're just going to continue observing the price action. For us, let's say, to start aiming at least towards some higher levels, we would like to see a push back above the 1.1228 zone, and this way we will aim for the 1.1260 and this downside resistance line, this nice downside resistance line taken from the high of January. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. It will be very interesting to see if it actually breaks that eventually, but of course this is something more for the near term, for the medium term. For now, from the very short term perspective, we are going to remain somewhat neutral. For us, let's say, in order to consider lower levels now, we're going to aim for this little target again, this 1.1175. Now I talked about this level previously, so basically nice good drop below the 1.1175 could lead the pair towards the 1.1150, or even actually going back here towards the April lows near the 1.1120 zone. So for now, guys, these are the two levels that we're keeping a close eye on. Let me just quickly drag this one here, so put the highlighted area just for our future reference. So basically on the upside, 1.1228, that's what we're looking for in terms of the upside. In terms of the downside, again, 1.1175, and that's of course from the short-term perspective. And very quickly on EURGBP, that just to kind of quickly refresh everything here. Of course, I was talking about this one this morning, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this 0.8590 level, which EURGBP kind of broke it with confidence here and continues to travel higher. But as you can see, it kind of got held here near this 200 EMA. This is what I also was talking about, the 0.8610 here level here, approximately near this 200 EMA level. It did fell shy of a few pips from hitting our other target here near the 0.8620, but still good performance here from the EURGBP. And in a way, what we could see here now is maybe a bit of retracement back down. We could maybe see a test of the 0.8590 level. Could be a nice potential ground here for a rebound. But as you can also see, this just slightly below that, this is the 0.8585 zone. Also could be that little nice last resort for the bulls here. But if this gets broken, if we see breaks below the 0.8585 zone, then yep, we will consider the 0.8555 level again, and this time of course it will be very interesting to see if it actually is, if it's going to play the same key role as it did 2 days ago here, so on Monday and yesterday. So for now, guys, of course this is looking quite bullish. We are aiming still for the 0.8620, but to be honest, don't forget that we probably could see maybe a bit of correction here, a bit of retracement back down, and then maybe another leg of buying if it continues to trade above the 0.8585 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you very much for sticking around. And if you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.